Resolution 1526/2004 on threats to international peace and security caused by terrorist acts, adopted by the Security Council at its 4908th meeting. On the 30th of January 2004, the Security Council, recalling its resolutions 1267, 1999, of the 15th of October 1999, 1333, 2000, of the 19th of December 2000, 1363, 2001, of the 30th of July 2001, 1373, 2001, of the 28th of September 2001, 1390, 2002, of the 16th of January 2002, 1452, 2002, of the 20th of December 2002, and 1455, 2003, of the 17th of January 2003, underlining the obligation placed upon all member states to implement, in full, Resolution 1373, 2001, including with regard to any member of the Taliban and the Al-Qaeda organization, and any individuals, groups, undertakings and entities associated with the Taliban and the Al-Qaeda organization, who have participated in the financing, planning, facilitating and preparation or perpetration of terrorist acts or in supporting terrorist acts, as well as to facilitate the implementation of counter-terrorism obligations in accordance with relevant Security Council resolutions. Reaffirming the need to combat by all means, in accordance with the Charter of the United Nations and international law, threats to international peace and security caused by terrorist acts. Noting that, in giving effect to the measures in paragraph 4b of Resolution 1267, 1999, paragraph 8c of Resolution 1333, 2000, and paragraphs 1 and 2 of Resolution 1390, 2002, full account is to be taken of the provisions of paragraphs 1 and 2 of Resolution 1452, 2002. Reiterating its condemnation of the Al-Qaeda network and other associated terrorist groups for ongoing and multiple criminal terrorist acts, aimed at causing the deaths of innocent civilians, and other victims, and the destruction of property, and greatly undermining stability. Reiterating its unequivocal condemnation of all forms of terrorism and terrorist acts. Stressing to all states, international bodies, and regional organizations, the importance of ensuring that resources are committed, including through international partnership, to meet the ongoing threat the Al-Qaeda organization and members of the Taliban, and any individuals, groups, undertakings and entities associated with them, represent to international peace and security. Acting under Chapter 7 of the Charter of the United Nations. 1. Decides to improve, as set out in the following paragraphs of this resolution, the implementation of the measures imposed by paragraph 4b of Resolution 1267, 1999, paragraph 8c of Resolution 1333, 2000, and paragraphs 1 and 2 of Resolution 1390, 2002, with respect to Osama bin Laden, members of the Al-Qaeda organization and the Taliban and other individuals, groups, undertakings and entities associated with them, as referred to in the list created pursuant to Resolutions 1267, 1999, and 1333, 2000, the committee list, namely to a. Freeze without delay the funds and other financial assets or economic resources of these individuals, groups, undertakings and entities, including funds derived from property owned or controlled, directly or indirectly, by them or by persons acting on their behalf or at their direction, and ensure that neither these nor any other funds, financial assets or economic resources, are made available, directly or indirectly, for such persons' benefit, by their nationals or by any persons within their territory. b. Prevent the entry into or the transit through their territories of these individuals, provided that nothing in this paragraph shall oblige any state to deny entry or require the departure from its territories of its own nationals, and this paragraph shall not apply where entry or transit is necessary for the fulfillment of a judicial process or the committee determines on a case-by-case basis only that entry or transit is justified. c. Prevent the direct or indirect supply, sale or transfer, to these individuals, groups, undertakings and entities from their territories or by their nationals outside their territories, or using their flag vessels or aircraft, of arms and related material of all types including weapons and ammunition, military vehicles and equipment, paramilitary equipment, and spare parts for the aforementioned and technical advice, assistance, or training related to military activities, and recalls that all states shall implement the measures with respect to listed individuals and entities. 2. Decides to strengthen the mandate of the committee established pursuant to Resolution 1267, 1999, the committee, to include, in addition to the oversight of states' implementation of the measures referred to in paragraph 1 above, a central role in assessing information for the Council's review regarding effective implementation of the measures, as well as in recommending improvements to the measures. 3. Decides that the measures referred to in paragraph 1 above will be further improved in 18 months, or sooner if necessary. 4. Calls upon states to move vigorously and decisively to cut the flows of funds and other financial assets and economic resources to individuals and entities associated with the Al-Qaeda organization, Osama bin Laden and/or the Taliban, taking into account, as appropriate, international codes and standards for combating the financing of terrorism, including those designed to prevent the abuse of non-profit organizations and informal, alternative remittance systems. 5. Urges all states and encourages regional organizations, as appropriate, to establish internal reporting requirements and procedures on the transborder movement of currency based on applicable thresholds. 6. Decides, in order to assist the committee in the fulfillment of its mandate, to establish for a period of 18 months a New York-based analytical support and sanctions monitoring team, hereinafter referred to as the monitoring team, under the direction of the committee with the responsibilities enumerated in the annex to this resolution. 7. Requests the Secretary-General, upon adoption of this resolution and acting in close consultation with the committee, to appoint, consistent with United Nations rules and procedures, no more than 8 members, including a coordinator, of the monitoring team, who demonstrate one or more of the following areas of expertise related to activities of the Al-Qaeda organization and/or the Taliban, including counter-terrorism and related legislation, financing of terrorism and international financial transactions, including technical banking expertise, alternative remittance systems, charities, and use of couriers, border enforcement, including port security, arms embargoes and export controls, and drug trafficking. 8. Further requests the monitoring team to submit, in writing, 3 comprehensive, independent reports to the committee, the first by the 31st of July 2004, the second by the 15th of December 2004, and the third by the 30th of June 2005, on implementation by states of the measures referred to in paragraph 1 above, including concrete recommendations for improved implementation of the measures and possible new measures. 9. Requests the Secretary-General to provide cost-effective support, as needed by the committee, in light of the increased workload entailed by this resolution. 10. Requests the committee to consider, where and when appropriate, visits to selected countries by the chairman and/or committee members to enhance the full and effective implementation of the measures referred to in paragraph 1 above, with a view to encouraging states to comply fully with this resolution and Resolutions 1267, 1999, 1333, 2000, 1390, 2002, and 1455, 2003. 11. Further requests the committee to follow up via oral and/or written communications with states regarding effective implementation of the sanctions measures and to provide states with an opportunity, at the committee's request, to send representatives to meet with the committee for more in-depth discussion of relevant issues. 12. Requests the committee, through its chairman, to report orally at least every 120 days to the Council in detail on the overall work of the committee and the team, including a summary of states' progress in submitting the reports referred to in paragraph 6 of Resolution 1455, 2003, and any follow-up communications with states regarding additional requests for information and assistance. 13. Further requests the committee, based on its ongoing oversight of states' implementation of the measures referred to in paragraph 1 above, to prepare and then to circulate within 17 months after the adoption of this resolution a written analytical assessment to the Council on implementation of the measures, including states' successes and challenges in implementing them, with a view to recommending further measures for the Council's consideration. 14. Requests all states, and encourages regional organizations, relevant United Nations bodies, and, as appropriate, other organizations and interested parties to cooperate fully with the committee and the monitoring team, including supplying such information as may be sought by the committee pursuant to this resolution and Resolutions 1267, 1999, 1333, 2000, 1390, 2002, 1452, 2002, and 1455, 2003, to the extent possible. 15. Reiterates the need for close coordination and concrete exchange of information between the committee and the committee established pursuant to Resolution 1373, the Counter-Terrorism Committee. 16. Reiterates to all states the importance of proposing to the committee the names of members of the Al-Qaeda organization and the Taliban or associated with Osama bin Laden and other individuals, groups, undertakings and entities associated with them for inclusion in the committee's list, unless to do so would compromise investigations or enforcement actions. 17. Calls upon all states, when submitting new names to the committee's list, to include identifying information and background information, to the greatest extent possible, that demonstrates the individual's and/or entity's association with Osama bin Laden or with members of the Al-Qaeda organization and/or the Taliban, in line with the committee's guidelines. 18. Strongly encourages all states to inform, to the extent possible, individuals and entities included in the committee's list of the measures imposed on them, and of the committee's guidelines and Resolution 1452, 2002. 19. Requests the Secretariat to communicate to member states the committee's list at least every 3 months to facilitate states' implementation of the measures on entry and travel imposed by paragraph 2b of Resolution 1390, 2002, and further requests that the committee's list, whenever amended, be automatically conveyed by the Secretariat to all states, regional and sub-regional organizations for inclusion, to the extent possible, of listed names in their respective electronic databases and relevant border enforcement and entry/exit tracking systems. 20. Reiterates the urgency for all states to comply with their existing obligations to implement the measures referred to in paragraph 1 above and to ensure that their domestic legislative enactments or administrative measures, as appropriate, permit the immediate implementation of those measures with respect to their nationals and other individuals or entities located or operating in their territory, and with respect to funds, other financial assets and economic resources over which they have jurisdiction, and to inform the committee of the adoption of such measures, and invites states to report the results of all related investigations and enforcement actions to the committee, unless to do so would compromise the investigation or enforcement actions. 21. Requests that the committee seek from states, as appropriate, status reports on the implementation of the measures referred to in paragraph 1 above concerning listed individuals and entities, specifically with respect to the aggregate amounts of the listed individuals and entities' frozen assets. 22. Requests all states that have not yet done so to submit to the committee by the 31st of March 2004 the updated reports called for under paragraph 6 of Resolution 1455, 2003. Following as closely as possible the guidance document previously provided by the committee, and further requests that all states that have not submitted these reports to explain in writing to the committee by the 31st of March 2004 their reasons for non-reporting. 23. Requests the committee to circulate to the Council a list of those states that have not submitted by the 31st of March 2004 reports pursuant to paragraph 6 of Resolution 1455, 2003, including an analytical summary of the reasons put forward by states for non-reporting. 24. Urges all states and encourages relevant international, regional and sub-regional organizations to become more directly involved in capacity-building efforts and to offer technical assistance in areas identified by the committee, in consultation with the Counter-Terrorism Committee. 25. Decides to remain actively seized of the matter,